Hello everybody, Michael O here and welcome back. Hope y'all are doing alright and ready for today's adventure. Now while you're liking and subscribing, I'm going to explain to you what the adventure is going to be. And today we're back at the Twins, at least for now. So a while ago I recorded a series of videos known as OCD mode. And the rules for that are down in the description. Basically, it's kind of a challenge I created for myself just because I got bored. It's in practice mode. You have to keep any doors or drawers shut after you use them. You have to drop items only on tabletops, counters, dressers, or beds instead of the floor, and everything else has to be kept in order as well. Now, even if you're not interested in watching me play this, I will leave the gameplay here. If you want to watch as I finish the escapes I have not done yet. But if you don't want to watch, then at least leave, if you're watching on your phone or something or whatever, then just leave the audio running and listen to what I have to say. I want to talk to y'all a little bit about this. I saw a little bit ago, this is actually what brought this back to mind, was I saw Horozoid actually doing the OCD mode, like I said, with the rules that are down in the description. But I saw him playing these in his videos, so I decided to come back and finish this. But it got me thinking, OCD, I don't know if I really am OCD. If so, then I'm undiagnosed, but I do have a really weird way of organizing things. But I didn't do this to mock or make fun of anybody that has OCD by any means. So it's just kind of a set of rules per se. I call it a challenge, but since it's in practice mode, it's not really truly a challenge, but it is what it is. So anyway, that got me thinking about kind of people's state of mental being or whatever, and I thought about, I play a lot of horror games on the channel. Now, to be fair, none of them are really graphic, or they're not really that realistic, gory, bloody, anything like that. But I've still read reviews before of people. I think it was the original Granny game on the App Store or on Google Play, or just parents writing reviews about their kids playing it and stuff. And it seemed to me that some people actually find these disturbing, which I can understand. It's got some jump scares. Now, personally, I have always viewed this as just a way to have fun, Like I said, it's not the most gory game. It's not bloody or anything like that. You get a jump scare here or there, but it's more thrill. It's more of a thrill than anything else, which I like. Get a little startled. Nothing wrong with that. I don't mind it. But some people find it disturbing. And if you ever find any of my videos disturbing to you, like genuinely messes up your mind, then please stop watching. Not that I don't want you to. I appreciate the support I get, but I'd rather you have your mental wherewithal rather than just putting up with the videos and getting genuinely damaged by that. Now, I don't think that that's really anybody that watches my videos. I think for the most part y'all are cool with it. And like I said, it's not like any of the PC realistic horror games that has a lot of blood or anything, but still, you gotta know where you're at on that. You gotta kind of take inventory and know what your state is on that. And I cannot get this to stay. So I'll leave that up to your discretion. But if you're fine with it, then I'd be more than happy to have you watch and be involved in the community. And I appreciate it, like I said. But that got me thinking about mental health. And there's a couple things I wanted to share with you. I've never really shared on the channel before that I think maybe you'll find helpful. All of these have to do with sleep. Now, you got to think about it. Sleep is what we think of as peace, and this glitch is not working. Hold on a second. Man, this is annoying. There we go. Sleep is what we relate to with peace. Peace, rest, and because sleeping, you're not active, you're resting. So all of these have to do with sleep. Whether you've heard of these or experienced all of these or any of these before, can be different. but I have heard of and experienced all four of these. The first one is nightmares. Now that's pretty simple. You would think that's pretty simple, right? And by the way, what I was saying before was I was talking about the bad reviews on the granny game and whatever. But the thing about that with me is I've never had a problem with it just because of the fact that it's an app on my phone, you know? It's not something that spills over into my life. Once I can delete the app if I really need to. I don't have any problems with the games, but even if I did, I can leave the game and enter right back into real life. No problems, and it doesn't follow me. You know, Granny stays in the app. She doesn't come and haunt my house or anything like that. So it's in reality that I'm living, but the games are fantasy more or less. You know, it's a video game. It's not real. Some people have maybe they know that it's not real, but their mind has trouble differentiating between that, and so it genuinely scares them. Which, okay, you know, everybody's different. And the same thing goes with a nightmare. Nightmare, I dare say everybody's experienced a nightmare at some point or another. It's just a bad dream. You know, as bad as the dream might be, like I keep on saying, once you wake up, you're back in reality. So you don't have anything to worry about at that point. And, you know, even though you might be scared for the first couple minutes or whatever, or maybe you're thinking about it even throughout the rest of the day, you still realize that it's not real. None of it's real. You go back, you live your life. You might think about it, like I said. You might get a little shook up at first whenever you first wake up. I've had before where I wake up, well, for one, I've had where I wake up and I'm like I sit up, like I'll be sleeping and then I'll wake up like breathing hard and sweating and stuff. That has happened before. I've also had the falling dream as well. In my church, we have a balcony on the second floor. It's not terribly high, but my fear of heights has been invoked by that, but I'm good now. I've gotten used to being up there, sitting up there. But one time I had the falling dream that I fell from there. Now, to be fair, I woke up and I was on the floor, so I can see where I got that sensation from in the dream, the feeling of falling, because I actually fell in real life too. But once I woke up on the floor and realized I was okay, then I re-entered reality. See, as bad as the nightmare may get. Also, I did want to mention, have y'all ever had where the what's it called? I don't know how to explain it. But you're not having a nightmare per se, but then at some point in the dream you like fall. For me, it's always somebody's front step. Like I'll dream I'll be going up to somebody's house, and then that last step right before it, like they have stairs go up to the front door, and then that last step I like trip, and then like it like shakes me awake. I don't know how it works nor why it happens, but it does. I don't know. I think I've talked to one other person and they said they've had that happen, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But anyway, like wake up breathing hard and stuff. It's ridiculous. I'm like, that was just stupid. But you know, like I said, you realize that that's not real life at all, and you go on about your day. Everything's good. You'll think about it, but you're back to reality. And really, that's the reassurance in all, pretty much anything, is that you're eventually going to get back to your own, to reality, like I said. So you got nightmares, and then there's sleepwalking. Now, you know, you see this a little bit more with movies and shows and stuff. People, they sleepwalk, and then they'll like try to play it off or something. I don't know. Try and pretend that they weren't. Or vice versa, they'll they'll try to pretend that they were sleepwalking when they got caught doing something they shouldn't in the middle of the night, and it's funny. But sleepwalking, I've done this a couple times where when I was younger, especially. Some of these things I've grown out of, but when I was younger, I used to sleepwalk all the time, and I would. One time, actually, I actually got hurt a little bit. I don't know how I did it, but I busted my lip, and then I woke up and there's blood everywhere. 3, 2, 3, 1. I woke up and there's blood everywhere. I was like, "What in the world?" Apparently, I had like hit my head. I think I like walked without knowing it. I walked to go to the bathroom or something, and oh, I remember we were at like a hotel. This was a while ago. We were in a hotel and I didn't know where the bathroom was. And I hit my head on something, or something like that, and then I started bleeding. And then I didn't know about it. I didn't know it was that hard because I was still asleep. So I went back over and got my pillow all bloody. That was nasty. So yeah, I would prefer if I didn't do that again. I did it a couple times back at my house, but I didn't really hurt myself or nothing those times because, it was my house. I knew where I was. I knew how everything was laid out, so I went to sleepwalk and that happened. So it's not as much scary as it is just something that happens in your sleep, but once again, like the nightmares, I've had that happen before. And then you've got another thing called sleep paralysis. Now, I've heard a couple other people talk about this one. This one seems to be more common, and I think that it's a little bit more intense because you feel a bit of a threat. Not like physical danger, but the threat of not being in control. You know what you want to do. That's basically it. It's like the name states. It's a paralysis. Not a permanent paralysis or anything like that, but a paralysis nonetheless. It's whenever you wake up and something doesn't connect right in your mind. You think, okay, I need to... The thought process goes through your mind. I need to move this or this. It happened to me personally one time. What happened was I woke up and... Long story short, I woke up and I wasn't able to move. I was trying to move myself. I was under a blanket and I got hot. And I couldn't move. I was like, I really need to move. But it didn't really scare me. Like some people, they say they got freaked out because oh, what's happening to me or something like that. And I get it. That can be scary. But it didn't scare me. It was more of like, oh, I'm stuck. Probably because I was still waking up and I wasn't completely there yet. I don't even really remember how I got out of it. But I was fine. I did something and I was fine. Like I said, I don't really remember what it was that I did, but I got out of it. Like I said, this can be scarier to some people because of the fact that you don't have control, and that's really the thing. You're in reality, but you don't have control. The biggest thing that really helped me with all of these was really reality, just knowing what was really happening, and so I was good. I knew what was going on. I knew I had at least some sort of idea of what to do. Like I said, I don't really remember how I got out of the sleep. What was it? What was I saying? Sleep paralysis. That's what it was. I am really trying to find something in the game, so I'm not focusing on this like I should. But I'm being really stupid too in what I'm doing. But anyway, I'm trying to develop a thought process while playing through this game and do the OCD rules. So, kind of having trouble. I'm kind of glitching out here. Anyway, just pretend like everything's okay, because everything will be okay. With sleep paralysis, with all of these, nightmare, I knew I would wake up I've had times before where I was, I'm not kidding you. I told myself that I was like, you know what, this is a nightmare. Why don't you have you tried waking up? I remember one time I was running laps in a yard. I was running laps through my yard around my house, and then it just occurred to me like, hey, this isn't real. You should just, wake up. You can snap out of this, And for me, it doesn't really take much to wake me up. I don't know about y'all. Some people, they like pinch themselves that way they wake up. In their dream they do it, and then it connects to their like their arm and stuff, to their hands to pinch themselves to wake up. Me, I'm pretty good with just, I can do that. I just think, oh, let me wake up, and then it just happens. And then I'm back to reality again. And then with the sleepwalking, the thing with that is you don't know what's happening until it's happened, or until somebody tells you that you did it. Or, like I said, you wake up in a puddle of blood and figure out what happened. But then the sleep paralysis one, reality. See, all of these have some sort of connect with reality, and that's really the thing that gives me reassurance throughout all of it. But this last one that I'm about to talk to you about, I've only talked to one other person that's actually had this that I know of, that I know in real life that's had this happen to them. I've only talked to one other person where I know that this has happened to them before, and that is night terrors. Not a lot of people have these, but for those that have had them, they know for a fact, and they do not forget about the night terrors. Like, I know when I have night terrors. What is a night terror? First, let's start off by defining it. It's worse than a nightmare by far. I'm trying to think up a way to explain it that somebody that y'all, if you haven't had one, you would know what I'm talking about. Basically, you're in reality, but your dream follows you. Your nightmare follows you. So I'll be sitting there, and now I've gotten to the point to where this only happens to me. Sorry. This only happens to me when I have, it's a fever dream, okay? Whenever I get sick, and I'm like, when you get sick, then it tires your body out, and, in order to get better, you need to rest. So I'll be like, okay, I'm going to take a nap, or at night I'll go to sleep sick, and then I'll have this as a fever dream. So I got to be very careful with that whenever I get ill. Then I kind of gotta be careful about that. By the way, I just completed the twins' roof escape. Excuse me, in OCD mode. So there you have it. All right, I'm gonna switch to the next game. Okay, here we are, and I did turn on extra locks, just so you know. So this thing about what I was talking about with night terrors is that you see reality. Like, I wake up, whenever it happens to me, I wake up and I see my room, and I see everything in my room, and I know where I'm at too. I understand that this is my room, but things from my dream follow me, my nightmare. Things from my nightmare follow me into reality. So, for instance, maybe there was a monster in that nightmare, and then I'll see that monster in real life, but it's just a hallucination. It's not really there. I mean, obviously, it's not real, but I don't know that. The thing is, in a night terror, you still feel like your life is threatened. You still feel that you're still in danger. I've heard of people, I've really, like I said before, I've only met one other person that I know in real life that's had this happen to them. He said that at one point, for an example, he was running through his house and knives were chasing him down his hallway. Okay, that makes sense to me. I understand that. I've read on the internet before to where a guy was laying in his bed, and he was laying in his bed, and he was on his back, so he was looking up at the ceiling, and a monster came down and attacked him, attacked him, came down on his chest and was like fighting him, and that was all hallucination. There was no monster or anything like that. He was just hallucinating, and you know, in my experiences with night terrors, the thing with them is that you don't always know what the threat is. For me, I've had things before to where I knew what it was. I saw something like a monster or something chasing me, and I knew that. I was like, okay, I need to get away from that. But there were some night terrors where I didn't know what the threat was. Like, I was just like, why am I scared? But nonetheless, I was still running because I felt genuinely threatened. I didn't know what was threatening me. I just knew I had to run. And so I would run, I would hide under blankets. I ran across my house so many times. And yeah, it was not fun at all. Of course, you would think that. You would think, how would having your life feel how would you having your life threatened be any fun? And it's not. Some people say that they think they've had night terrors before, but the thing with night terrors is that if you've had one, you know that you've had one. And if you're watching this and you've had one, you know what I'm talking about. There's no doubt about it that you had one. You're like, yep, that was definitely a night terror. And I don't know. It doesn't seem to be a very common thing. I used to have them more when I was younger, but not so much anymore. Like I said before, it's basically become my fever dream. Uh, that's basically what it's turned into, is just a fever dream. Just something I get when I'm sick. I just gotta watch it. I just gotta be careful with it so I don't genuinely scare myself and cause damage. Now, what have I learned from this? Well, now that I've had them for a while, and when I do have them now, I've learned how to control myself a little bit better. Well, you say, how do you do that? If you feel threatened, if you genuinely feel threatened. Well, I've learned. See, the problem a lot of times with night terrors is you don't realize. It's not that you don't realize that you're having one. It's that you don't know what to do. Like, you're scared, so you just run. You just do what feels right, which is running away from the problem. Which somebody was trying to kill you, would you stick around? No. You feel threatened, so you run. That's the natural response. The problem is that you don't really think through it. Like, you don't think, okay, what can I do? Is this really real? No. You focus, the threat is so strong in a night terror that you don't have any time to reason. All of your thought power is devoted towards getting away from the threat, or getting all turned around here. All of your thought power, adrenaline, all of your rush. You're in a cold sweat. You're not thinking straight. All you're trying to do is run away, because that's all you know to do. That's all your natural instincts know what to do, if that makes sense. So really, the biggest thing for me was reasoning through a night terror. Like, I realized that I'm having a night terror, but then I didn't know what to do. So I've trained myself now. I've trained myself in what to do in a night terror situation. What do I do? Well, for one, I have to think, okay, this is a night terror. I have to say that out loud to myself. I have to say, you are having a night terror. This isn't reality. You need to get back to real life. The only way the only way to get out of a night terror is to get back to real life. There's no like calming you down in one. There's no calming myself down. There's no reasoning. There's just, I have to get out of this. That's the only way you're going to do it. You're not going to talk to somebody. You're not going to talk them into doing it. You're not going to talk them out of it per se. You're not going to reason with them. Chances are they're going to be crying. I know I did through a lot of these. It was miserable. Where is it? There it is. So the goal here is not to reason. The goal here is to get them out of it. That's the best thing to do. It's almost like a panic attack, if you will. Maybe you can relate with that a little bit more. I never thought of it that way, but it's more like a panic attack than it is anything else. So hopefully that helps you understand that. So continuing on what I do, I will at the point where I'm like, okay, I'm in a night terror and I need to get out of it. I also know what to do whenever I'm in one. Now I don't know. Look, like I said before, I only know one person in real life that has night terrors. And I don't haven't really talked to too many people about it. This is the first video I've ever made really on it before. But what I do, and this works for me, it may be different for somebody else that has it, but I know that the one solution to getting myself out of it is to go back to sleep. Like, I'm not kidding you. It works like magic. It's so weird. You don't do anything else. That's the only thing I can do. You can't, like I said before, you can't reason with me. You can't snap me out of it. I can't snap myself out of it. All I can do is go back to bed, and then when I wake up, I'll be fine. I know that much. I know that much about me. So I have to find a way to. I've had it before to where the last probably 2 or so night terrors that I've had to drag myself back to my bed because you want to keep running. You want to keep getting away from the threat that's there. You don't want to, but you know that's what's going to help. You see, I can't explain to you. I can't explain to you how hard it is to get out of that mindset that of a threat being there. You just want to keep running away from that threat. You don't want to find a solution. You want to run away. I think that's probably the hardest thing about sorry, I'm trying to do multiple things at once here. About getting out of that night terror is you have to quit running from the threat, and you have to. There we go. You have to quit running from the threat, and you have to focus on the solution. So, I don't know. Y'all let me know if y'all had these things down in the comment section below. Like I said, I think I dare say pretty much everybody has had a nightmare. Probably some more people have had sleep paralysis. Sleepwalking, that's not everybody's thing, but some people do it. So y'all let me know what you think about that down in the comments section. Or if you've experienced it, and let me know if what I'm saying here is true, or if it makes sense, or if I'm just spewing a bunch of nonsense around. If I don't know what I'm talking about. But I promise you, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to night terrors. If nothing else I said is true in this video, then the part about night terrors is definitely true. Like, there's no forgetting it. And like I said, if you think, oh, I think I had a night terror, no, there is no thinking you had a night terror. There's only knowing. You know for a fact that you had the living daylights scared out of you. You felt genuinely threatened. You didn't know what to do. And maybe if it's still a problem for you, maybe you need to, maybe you can try, stupid. Maybe you can try a solution. Maybe this will help you. I really hope it does. If what I'm saying is true, and you can find the solution helpful, and not my rambling right now. I'm trying to get out of here. But if you found the solution helpful, then I hope so. I hope this is all correct, and I wish nothing but the best for you. I've outgrown most of what I've said. The nightmares still happen because, everybody has bad dreams. But I hope that this has helped you. If you need, and let me just say one more thing too with this. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I do. I remember where I put my gun. When it comes to all of this, especially the night terrors, because they were definitely the worst out of anything that I've said. Especially the night terrors, they were the worst. But my faith has helped me through a lot of this. I haven't really told you all my faith. I am a Baptist Christian, which, I mean, if you disagree with me, then it's fine. I'm not going to hate you or anything. But if you ever have any questions when it comes to that kind of stuff, feel free to drop a comment. I would be very glad to help you, glad to talk with you about that. Oh, goodness gracious. I'd be very glad to answer any questions you might have about that. If you need any help with any of the stuff I've talked about, nightmares, sleep paralysis, night terrors, sleepwalking, any of this. If you'd like any help with that, down in the comment section below. I don't know. I'm not really a therapist. I don't have any license, but from my experience, I can tell you, I'll give you any answers that I can. I'm not out to hide anything or hold any help from anybody. I want to help you as much as I can. Like I said, I don't know how qualified I am to do that, but I'll give it my best shot. So leave that down below. Let me know what you think about all of this. If you have any thoughts at all, just let me know. And yes, I really do appreciate you. You putting up with me, with my monotone voice this entire time, talking about mental health, psychological stuff. That's not everybody's cup of tea. It's a little different video from usual. And next video, I plan to get right back into things. But stink. There we go. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I only got to 2 of the 3 escapes I wanted to with the OCD mode. That's okay with me. Please do leave a like on the video for the work I put into it. And make sure that you are subscribed with notifications turned on. You know why? Because you are not going to want to miss my next video. You are not going to want to miss my next video. But until then, y'all have a great day, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.